What's up, champs? It's November, and we are going to focus on the word gratitude. Gratitude sometimes feels like a lost art, yet gratitude is an idea close to God's heart. Think about all the Bible stories where people give thanks to each other, where people celebrate God with feasts and festivals. Not to mention the Psalms, filled with songs of praise. Just take a moment to consider everything God has done for you. The world He made, the promises He keeps, the new life He offers through Jesus. When we remember all of that, we can always be thankful. So, get your listening ears ready and your thinking caps on so we can hear our lesson.
In this lesson, we will do 7 things. First, we will have worship. Next, we will listen to our Bible story told by our buddies. Then, we will watch our Bible video, followed by WH time to answer small group questions. We will then practice our monthly Bible verse and make a craft. Lastly, we will talk to God by praying.
I'm so thankful for the way God loves us. Being thankful is a choice we make. No matter what's going on, we can choose to be grateful for all that we've been given. Today, you might be having the best day ever. Or it might not be such a good day. You had a rough morning and you got in a fight with your sibling. Ouch. Don't let those things stop you from thanking God for all He's given you. Like David said in 1 Chronicles 29:13, our God, we give you thanks. We praise your glorious name. Let's do that right now.
Every time I'm feeling down, you pick me up. Sing, oh, oh. And when my heart is feeling emptied out, you fill my cup. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Yeah! T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Here we go, verse 2. I'm grateful for the way you've been a friend to me. Sing, oh, oh. And even in the deepest, darkest night, you help me see. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. For the joy that you give to me, for the way that you made me free, for my friends and my family, I just wanna say, for loving me from the start, for every beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you.
Hello, champs! I'm full of gratitude to see you all today. Gratitude is letting others know you see how they've helped you. And it certainly helps me to show up and see your smiling faces every week. You might say I have an attitude of gratitude. There are lots of different attitudes we can have every day. Sometimes I have 5 different attitudes before 9 a.m. But when you thank someone, or when someone thanks you, it can turn your day completely around. I'm curious. Who thinks that they can keep a sad face while someone is thanking them? Anyone? I asked Mr. Matt, Mr. Mark, and Mrs. Carrie to help us out today. Here's what I've done. Inside this box, I've got 3 different ways we can show gratitude. We are going to watch Mrs. Carrie give each item to Mr. Mark and Mr. Matt and see if they can keep a sad face while she is showing gratitude. What do you guys think? I don't think they can do it. Do you think it'll be easy for them to stay sad when someone is thanking them? Let's take a look. We'll start with a simple one, the thank you note. Remember, we're watching to see if Mr. Mark and Mr. Matt can keep a sad face while Mrs. Carrie thanks them.
Hey champs, it's me, Miss Carrie. Oh my gosh, we have something special that we're gonna do right now. I have 3 different ways I'm gonna show thank yous to Mr. Mark and Mr. Matt. So come along with me, I have some thank you notes. Are you ready? Hey, Mr. Mark. So hey, I was just really thinking about how you and your wife, that you guys made us tamales, and they were so awesome. I just wanted to give you a thank you because we just really enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, and then Mr. Matt. Oh my goodness, Mr. Matt. I was thinking about you too, and how now Mr. Matt has this really cool truck and has the open bed on the back. And you know what? You helped move some furniture for us the other day. I just wanted to thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.
Matt did frown. You got me.
All right, it took a while. Those guys did a good job, but I knew Mrs. Carrie would eventually get them to smile because she's so good. Let's see how they do in this next one.
Hey champs! You guys, I'm gonna try again. I have 2 gifts to give today to Mr. Mark and Mr. Matt. Let's see if they like them, okay? Here we go. Got it! Okay. Hey Mark!
Hey.
I got something for you.
Woo!
Because you know what? You're such a good friend, and I know you love the Dodgers, so we gotta open it.
Yep, I got my Dodger mask on right here. Let me see. Let me see.
Let's see what I got
Oh,
you.
let me see. What we call that. Oh my. Oh, look at there. Look at here. It's Mr. Turner. It's after him with his big old home runs. Oh!
Yes, I'm
Woo!
glad.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Miss
good,
Carrie.
you liked
You got the
it.
perfect gift. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. All right, one down. We got one more to go. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Matt. Hey, I got you a present. Yeah, because you've been helping us out with moving furniture in your truck, so I wanted to give you something too that has to do with the Dodgers.
Oh, a leather scented candle.
It's right. Yes. It's
I bet that smells good when you turn that on, man.
Well, I don't know. I heard some people really love the smell of leather. It reminds them of a baseball.
Oh, this is a ball from Jock Peterson.
That's right. Do you know who he is?
I do know who he is. I know who his brother is too. His brother is Champ, and Champ, you guys should look up Champ Peterson. He is a cool dude.
Oh, good. Awesome.
You know, Miss Carrie, I'm not a fan of the Dodgers, I will say, but I do appreciate the thought behind your gift.
Oh,
Thank you.
good. I'm glad you like it though.
Ha! I knew they couldn't keep a sad face. Mrs. Carrie did a great job getting them to smile really quickly. Now for the final challenge. Let's see what they do when Mrs. Carrie starts to dance for them.
I have one more idea. Let's play a special song that I know the Dodger fans would totally know. Are you ready? Maybe dancing will get everybody happy and thankful. Let's see.
west side. Santa Ana winds blowing hot from the north. We were born to ride. Roll down the window, put down the top, crank up the Beach Boys, baby. Don't let the music stop. We gonna ride it till we just can't ride it no more. From the side bay to the valley, from the west side to the east side, everybody very happy, 'cause the sun is shining all the time. It's like another perfect day. I love LA. We love it.
I don't know anyone whose attitude wouldn't change while watching dance moves like those. They were amazing. I'm so thankful they showed us 3 different ways to thank someone. Let's see what we have for our story today. All right, I've got these 2 delicious ears of corn that need to be shucked, but I got a whole bucket that needs to get cleaned up. So I've got to get some help shucking it. Michael, Bonnie, Heather, Julia, and Trish have been generous enough to agree to help. And I forgot to mention, I pay fair wages in cupcakes. Here's what I will need them to do. First, we will have to take off all of the silk and the husk, kind of like this. Just like that. We'll get it all cleaned up, and then it'll be ready to cook. But I've got a whole bucket full of this stuff that needs to get done. All right, Michael, I need you to help me out here today. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
Awesome! Keep doing that while I tell you the story. That will be great. Jesus often taught people by using stories we call parables. He used examples and situations from people's everyday lives to help them understand something important. One day, Jesus told a story to his closest friends to explain what the kingdom of heaven is like. We can find this story in the book of Matthew. There was a man who owned land and he needed help working it. He went out early in the morning before the sunrise to hire workers. As he hired them, the owner agreed to pay them the regular amount for the day's work. All right, what I need you to do is to take the corn and peel all of the husks off, okay, one at a time.
Let's go one
All
at a
right,
time.
and you throw the husks in here, and then we'll put the good corn right in here when you're done, okay?
Okay.
So go ahead and just peel it off. Reach right at the top there, okay?
Right.
And peel it off, big and strong. There we go. All right, keep going. Very good. Then around 9 in the morning, the owner went out again and hired more workers. Michael's doing a great job, but he needs some help. So we've gone out and we've asked Bonnie to come and help us peel the corn as well. All right, I'll pay you in the same wages I'm going to pay Michael, all right?
Okay.
Very good. Looks like you guys are making progress, but I think we still need some more help. So I'm going to go ask Heather if she can join us. Remember, I pay with cupcakes, and they are delicious. So Michael and Bonnie are doing a good job, but there is a lot to do here. So I've gone out and I've asked Heather to come join us. And so Heather, I'm going to pay you the same wages that I'm paying Michael and Bonnie. Is that all right?
That's all right.
All right, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep up the good work, guys. Okay, back to our story. The owner went out again around noon and he hired a few more workers. Once again, he promised to pay what was right. You know what? Based on how much is left, I think I need to go get some more help. I'm gonna go bring Julia in and see if she can help us out. All right, the team's doing a great job, but once again, we have a lot of work to do today. So I've gone out and asked Julia to join us and help us out. Julia, I'm gonna pay you the same wages that I'm paying everyone else. Is that all right with you?
Okay, that's fine.
All right, just grab some corn and start husking it, and keep up the good work.
Does it have to go in there?
Now you can use this
Got
one
it.
here.
Cool.
The only thing that has to happen is the clean corn needs to go over here.
Awesome.
All right. Well, where were we? Oh yeah, the landowner had brought a fresh group of workers at noon. A few more hours went by. He went back out at 3 in the afternoon and found even more workers. I think he had the right idea. You guys look like you could still use some help. All right, the team's doing a great job, but as you can see, we still have a bunch of work to get done today. So I'm gonna go out and get some more help. I'm gonna get Trisha to join us. Around 5, the owner went out again. He saw a bunch of people standing around in the market and asked them why they were standing and doing nothing. They explained that no one had hired them for the day. So the owner hired them, and they went to work in his vineyard. All right, looks like we're almost done, but Trish, can you come help us finish off the last bit of the corn that we have here? All right, Trisha, thanks for coming and agreeing to help out. I'm gonna pay you the same wage that I'm paying everyone else. Is that all right with you?
Okay, same wages is good. Oh boy.
I got all that off.
Back to our story. That evening, the owner spoke to the person who was in charge of the workers and said it was time to call everybody together and call it quits for the day. You know what? I think he had the right idea. It looks like you guys have gotten all the corn done. Great job. I think we can call it quits here too. All right, we're just about finished with our work, and it's time to pay the workers for the day. Trisha, thank you very much for your day's work.
Thank you.
For the 1 hour. Julia, thank you for your 3 hours of work.
Oh.
Heather, 6 hours of work. Thank you very much. All right, Miss Bonnie, for 8 hours of work. Thank you very much. Mr. Michael, you've been here the longest. I'm going to pay you the exact same amount I paid everyone else. All right, thank you all for your service today. All right, let's see. Where were we? We left off as the workers were wrapping up their workday and getting paid. The owner told his manager to call the workers and give them their pay. He told him to start with the last workers he had hired, then go on to the first one. The workers who hired last were hired at 5 p.m. They got a normal day's pay. So, understandably, when those who were hired first came to receive their pay, they expected to get more. They started to complain. Listen to how the owner responded to their complaints, though. Friend, he said, I'm being fair to you. Didn't you agree to work for the usual day's pay? Take your money and go. I want to give the one hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want to do with my own money? And that's from Matthew chapter 20, verses 13 to 15. Jesus' story made it clear. God gives freely to everyone. After all, he owns everything, and he can choose how he shares what is his. So instead of focusing on what you don't have, we need to adjust our attitude. We need to choose to look at what we do have and be thankful. The truth is, none of us deserve anything. It's not ours in the first place. Everything we have is because God shared it with us. He is generous to everyone, including you and me. So, if you're feeling grumpy because someone else has more, remember, adjust your attitude. Find a way to be grateful, even when things don't seem fair.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 20, verses 1 through 15.
While Jesus taught in many different ways, he often shared the most important truths as stories. He used the things and animals and situations in people's everyday lives to help them understand things that were bigger. One day, Jesus explained to his closest friends what the kingdom of heaven was like, and he used a story to help it connect. Now, if he told that story to us today in our world right now, I think it would go a little something like this. There once was a man who owned a large vineyard.
Here at Grape Escape Vineyards, we specialize in red, white, and green grapes.
One bright autumn day, the man called in his manager to find out how his harvest was doing.
It's doing great.
Thanks a bunch. We shall pick the grapes immediately before the beetles nibble them up.
That's some good raisoning.
The next morning, the vineyard owner rose while it was still dark and hurried to the center of town. He arrived at around 6 a.m. and there were people still standing around noshing on grape jelly muffins.
Are you looking for work?
Yes, indeed. How much do you pay?
$100 for the day.
Precisely perfect. Let us proceed.
The owner led the workers back to his vineyard.
Baskets, hats, don't squash the grapes.
Oh, well, what happens if we do that?
They might whine a little.
The vineyard owner wanted to be sure that the beetles wouldn't ruin his precious grape harvest, so around 3 hours later at 9 o'clock, he returned to the town center and found more people lined up for work.
You come pick grapes for me. I'll pay you well. Good deal. Let's go.
The workers were all picking as fast as they could, but there were still long rows to harvest, so the vineyard owner went back to the town center at 12 o'clock noon 3 hours later, and there were still plenty of workers standing around.
Come, help out in my vineyard.
And after the new set of workers had worked for 3 hours, the vineyard owner returned to the town square again at 3 o'clock.
Need some more grape pickers, you in?
The blazing sun beat down as the vineyard owner added the new workers to his crew. One of the men hired at dawn wiped sweat off his face as he sipped his water.
Showing up for work in the afternoon. What a terrible work ethic.
The first workers returned to picking grapes, filling basket after basket. But even though it was still 5 o'clock, the vineyard owner returned to the town square where he still found plenty of people hanging around counting cockroaches and looking bored.
Why have you been standing here all day?
No one, hired us.
I'll hire you. Come work in my vineyard.
For the final hour of the workday, everybody pitched in. Whew! As the last baskets of grapes were brought up, the owner called to his manager.
Just look at all these beautiful grapes, all freshly harvested.
A great job, if I do say so.
Pay the workers. Start with the ones I hired last of all.
So the manager pulled out his cash box and lined up the workers. He started with the ones who only picked grapes for an hour.
Here you go. $100.
Totally rad, man.
At the other end of the line, the workers who began at dawn began doing some quick math.
$100 for 1 hour of work. That means we're about to get over $1,000.
The manager continued to hand out pay packets to the workers who started at 3 o'clock.
$100.
And noon.
$100.
And 9 o'clock in the morning.
$100.
Okay.
By the time the workers who started at 6 a.m. reached the front of the line, they were getting a little bit worried.
You're paying us what's fair for working all day, right?
Yep. $100.
What? Preposterous.
The early morning workers stalked off to find the vineyard owner.
You paid those hooligans who only worked an hour the same as us, even though we sweated all day picking your grapes. Just look at this crispy sunburn.
Fred, didn't you agree to $100 for the whole day?
That is a technicality.
Do you feel cheated because I gave so freely to the other workers? Don't I have a right to do what I want with my own money?
But it's not fair.
Take your money and go. I want to give the ones I hired last the same pay I gave you.
The early workers glared and skulked away, cash in hand. They had let the owner's generosity to someone else ruin their day. Jesus' story made it clear. God gives freely to everyone. Rather than focusing on what you don't have, adjust your attitude. Choose to look at what you do have.
All right, champions. Mrs. Bonnie has joined me for WH time. You ready for some questions?
I think you're ready for some questions.
Okay. Are you ready to ask me some questions?
I am.
All right, let's go.
All right. Okay, let's start with what is gratitude?
Gratitude. Well, gratitude is letting others know that you see how they're helping you to accomplish things.
So we also talked about parables. What is a parable?
Yeah. Well, Jesus often told stories of situations and circumstances so that he could help people in their everyday lives understand something very important about his kingdom.
And what book of the Bible did we talk about?
Today's story came from the book of Matthew.
So we talked about the people with the corn. How much did they earn?
Well, in the story, the people all earned the same amount. They earned the standard day's wage. So the people that started at 6 in the morning and the people that started at 5 p.m., everybody earned the standard day's wage.
So what can we learn from today's lesson?
You know, today's lesson is so important because some people will look at it and say, it's not fair, right? But God blesses each of us differently. So everybody has a certain amount of blessing from God, but it's not the same for everybody. So what we learn from this lesson is not that God is fair, God is just. And what he decides to do on our behalf is right. So it may not be fair, but God is always just.
All right, champions, it's time to go through our verse for the month. And it's all about gratitude. So let's do it together. Give thanks to the Lord because he is good. His faithful love continues forever. And that's from Psalm 136, verse 1. Let's do that one more time. Give thanks to the Lord because he is good. His faithful love continues forever. And that's from Psalm 136, verse 1.
What is up, champs? That was a great story from the book of Matthew, and guess who taught it? That's right, the greatest teacher ever in the world in the history of everness. Jesus taught us that story in one of his parables. Now, what's a parable? Today, you learn that a parable is something from everyday life that helps us understand something important. So what was the important part of our story? Well, in the story, the workers learned to be thankful for what we had, or for what they had. And what we learned out of that, we can adjust our attitude to what's going on around us. Maybe we see someone else who has a little bit more stuff than us, maybe more friends, or maybe more fun, it seems like even. Well, our attitude is the only thing that we can change, so we can change how we react to that. We can be thankful to the man upstairs for what we have, and what we have is so amazing because we get to have a relationship with Jesus. And nothing is better than that. So to help us see differently, to help us adjust our attitude, we are going to make gratitude goggles or gratitude binoculars. All right, we will need a few things. Now I have a paper towel roll that I cut in half, just like that. Grr. Now I measured it with a ruler and then I cut it in half, so you gotta be extra careful. And also I have some construction paper, and this is purple. Now, what's important about the color purple? It's the color of royalty, the color of Jesus. So the color of Jesus can go on our gratitude goggles. Now you might need to cut this out separately. I have already done that. We're also going to need some tape or glue, works as well. And Mr. Matt's sticker bag makes an appearance again. I've already got some stickers laid out. Ooh, even some Bible stickers. Look at that. That looks like a Bible character. Okay, all right. So now that we have our roll and our paper, all we have to do is just roll it up like a big tasty purple burrito. Then we get some tape, and we tape maybe a couple more pieces of tape just to make sure it's extra secure. And one more. All right, so one down. We can take our next roll, roll it up just like that for burrito number 2. Then we can see if they... Oh, it's not staying in. What can we do? We can tape them together. So we get some more tape. And we stick our pieces together just like that. Now you might want to use a few pieces of tape just to make sure it sticks. All right, now look at that, we got some binoculars. And we can see. But we want to make it more fun, so we can take some of our stickers and apply some personality. Now if you don't have stickers, you can draw on them. Now if you draw on them, you might want to start drawing ahead of time. Oh, look at that. Maybe some red. Got some dots. Maybe another big star. Okay. Now you can decorate as much as you want. I just put some stickers on here. And look at that. We got some nice, colorful, creative gratitude goggles. Now what do these help us do? Maybe we are a little grumpy because things aren't fair in life. Maybe someone else has more stuff. Maybe someone else can jump higher or run faster, or maybe they're smarter than us. Put on our gratitude goggles. Jesus, thank you so much for all that you've given me and all of my talents and how much you love me. And that's what our gratitude goggles can help us see. They can help us see what we can be thankful for. So I hope you guys have fun with these, and we'll see you next week.
All right, champions, what an important lesson for us to learn today about God is, he shares everything with us that he wants us to have, and we need to be grateful for what we do have and not focus on what we don't. So let's go to prayer, sit quiet, put everything down. You ready? All right, here we go. Lord, we thank you for this important lesson that we can learn today, that we can have gratitude for whatever it is that you provide us. Lord, help us to understand that you provide based on the plan that you have for each of us. Some of us are going to have more, some will have a little less, but it's going to be different. But it's just exactly what you want us to have. So let us focus on living a life according to your plan and being grateful for what you do provide us. Lord, we love you, we praise you, we ask you to guide us throughout this week. In Jesus' name.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, SCG families, I am so excited to share that in partnership with the Tim Tebow Foundation, we will be hosting Night to Shine 2021. This is going to be a virtual experience that you won't want to miss. Check out the video that we've compiled so you have a little idea of what to expect.
You are unique. You are created in love, by love, and for love. And God has a great plan for your life. Tonight is a night where you can shine. And let me tell you something. You are shining so bright. You're not just a king or a queen tonight. You're a king and a queen every single day of your life.
This is our
lots of ways to stay connected with us during the week on our website, scgchurch.org, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to tag us so we can be a part of your church at home worship experience.
How can we pray for you? Call or text your prayer request to 714-750-9222, or you can email scgkids@seacoastgrace.org. We'll see you next week.